Hello, this is Todd from Furnace Creek Coin Rings here in Robesonia, Pennsylvania. I have been working for the last couple months on a project, and I'm going to share the project with you. The project is a folding cone. Everybody probably is thinking now, folding cone? We got folding cones. We got plenty of folding cones. We got too many folding cones. That is the issue that I set out to tackle, is the problem of having too many folding cones. So I took all the folding cones and looked at them to see which ones I use the most, which ones I use the least. But in all actuality, I use them all. The problem is that we only need one to take care of this issue. Now, I know when I started out, I bought the Harbor Freight 6-ton press. Now, that comes with a 3/4 inch bar, where this here is 2 inches. Now, my buddy over at Superior Gunsmithing here in Robesonia, JC, wonderful person. I went over to him and I had an idea, but I didn't have the equipment to make my idea become a reality. And I don't know if somebody else, I see that they're out there and they're a lot nicer than this model. But I took a piece of flat stock and had them weld a nut on, and then drilled a hole through it, and then I drilled the hole through the bar. So that way it would be as close to a 90-degree angle that I could get it. The problem was it still moved a little bit, but it was a lot better than pushing on that 3/4 inch rod, because is what happens. One, we have all these folding cones. Now, some of them, the wooden ones I used, but when I seen the Delrin folding cones, I was thinking, well, that is one way to keep the coin from getting marred up on the inside during the folding process, because you have that stainless, or steel, I should just say, steel folding cone, and then we try to wrap it with tape so we don't have metal on metal contact. And when I seen the Delrin, I thought, well, that's a great idea. So I bought them, and these are all the different folding cones. I think I got them all. So I've been thinking, why not put all these into one? So that's what I set out to do. So I took, I guess it's the mega folder, or I don't know what it was called, the big steel one. And that idea is perfect, except for you can't fold coins with a 1/4 inch hole. So you would have to get this thing out, which it works. Don't get me wrong, I'm not putting down anybody's idea. But I figure I would try to put all these, if I can get it to stay, all these into one. It takes out a step, because when you go to fold a coin, there's a lot of different things going on that you're trying to stop from happening. One is, if you have, now the 2-inch is much nicer, I believe, than the 3/4 inch, because you have a bigger surface that'll keep you at 90 degrees a little easier. So when you fold, you have, of course, your press, your plate. Then you're going to have a folding die. Okay. So then you have your coin. Now, one thing that you have to worry about is that coin moving around. So now I have to find the right folding cone for this job, which is this Delrin one, or I could push it down with this one first. So now you have this, you're trying to hold this steady so your coin doesn't move, because if your coin moves off, it's not going to fold properly. It's going to be oblong or whatever you want to call it. So you're holding this, and then you're hoping that this comes down straight onto there. And then you proceed to fold. Now, it worked for me, but is what I found out also with the Delrin is, if you don't have this hole sanded nice and smooth, and it only takes you a couple more minutes. It just takes a couple more minutes just to get that hole sanded smooth. But that's the big thing, is to get that hole sanded smooth so it doesn't stick. So I'm hoping that when I show you my product and I use it, it doesn't stick. So I have 2-inch folding dies. Now I have a 1/4-inch hole, I have a 1/2-inch hole, and I have a 3/4-inch hole. Now the 3/4-inch hole is a Morgan silver dollar. The 1/2-inch hole is just a junk silver round that I had laying around, because I did fold a lot of coins, and now I have a lot of work to do to get these coins turned into rings. And then I have a silver quarter with the 1/4-inch hole. So before I go on in folding, I'm going to show you my product and my idea. So this is it. This is what I came up with. It takes the place of all these folding cones, and This is the holder that goes along with it. On this side, it's an 1 3/4 hole. On this side, it's a 2-inch hole with a 3/4 inch hole in the center, because is what happens on the 1 3/4 size die. When I push down, because this is long, and you can see that this will even fit smaller than a 1/4 inch hole, because that goes in there pretty far. And you also have to figure the only thing you're doing with this is folding the coin. There's some pressure, but not as much pressure as in reducing the coin. So I found out that when I pressed on the smaller die, it hit the bottom. So I figured, well, I'm going to have to make a stand. So here's the stand. Here is the 2-inch die. Now you're probably saying, well, look at that big end. What am I going to do if I only have the 3/4 inch rod? Well, is what I did is I put a 3/4 inch hole, 1 inch deep, that can slide over. Let's see. That's the way that works. That's the idea. So that'll slide over your push rod. Push it up as far, the force will push it in there. And it should hold it. Well, it does hold it. 90 degrees from your plate. Plus, if you have a bigger one, you have more surface area instead of a smaller one. Now, you still can get this off because it's so small in diameter, where this is just under 2 inches in diameter. So, I could have made one that would fit over this, or actually fit over this. But I figured, well, this is good enough, and it worked. So this is my idea. This is my product. Is what's going to happen. I'm going to show you how this works. And it's a lot easier to center because you can feel, you can feel the center. So now we're bottomed out. And it worked out because when I machine this, I just take a little extra time on that last pass and try to get this as smooth as possible. And the nice thing with the Delrin, if you do put a nick in there or anything, you can just take some fine sandpaper and sand it down a little bit. It'll still hold the 17 degree, or if you have a 15 degree die, I can make it 15 degrees. So here's coin number 1. That was the 1/4. here's coin number 2, which is just a plain silver round. Now, I did anneal all these coins beforehand, so for time constraints, I'm hoping to get this video done in under 2-3 hours, not like my last one. So, coin number 2. Actually does a really good job. I'm quite impressed, and it's my stuff. So, now, coin number 3 is the Morgan silver dollar. And if you like to use the arbor presses for your folding, I was thinking about trying to put a square notch, but they're kind of big, so I'm thinking just using the flat top for it. So let's just fold this one down. And it does leave some impressions on there. But you know what? I'd rather have the impressions on this instead of being smushed out on the steel. And here is the Morgan. So I'm going to do a little more testing. I didn't set a price yet. I'm going to do a little more testing, and when I do set a price, you'll be first to know. So, thank you for watching, and I am going to leave you with the words of a great man, Bob Barker. Let's help control the pet populations. Please have your pets spayed or neutered. So, good night. From Furnace Creek Coin Rings, I'm Todd, here in Robezonia, Pennsylvania.